Hello, we'll be commencing our webinar shortly. We're just clicking on to social media because we're doing a live feed to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So I'll be with you very shortly. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the ESS BIZTOOLS webinar, Small Firms Benefits of Advisory Services. I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. Welcome to those who are watching this webinar from social media. If you have any questions, can you please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. For those of you who are watching this webinar direct from your computers, if you have any questions, please go to chat and type in your question, and I will answer your questions later in the webinar. For those of you who watch this webinar later on in your own time, that's more suitable for your lifestyle and your work commitments, if you have any questions, we want to hear from you. Please send us an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. We will be sending CPD certificates for those who are with us for the full webinar, but we can't do that if you're watching this webinar in your own time because we don't have the recording of the time that you're actually watching. You'll just have to make that note in your own diaries and submit that to your professional organisations if you're called upon to do so. Okay, so welcome to this webinar today, Small Firms Benefits of Advisory Services. The past has no future. This was a comment made by Thomson Reuters in their white paper they released about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, which was titled Leading Australian SMEs in 2023's Changing Economy, identified some key issues. That's quite an interesting document, and I think every accountant should read it. If you can't find it, send us an email and I'll send you a link to the paper which we have, but I'm sure you can get it from Thomson Reuters website. And in their opening comment, they referred to some ominous words that we used to describe business conditions for SMEs in the last couple of years. Challenging, difficult, unprecedented, demanding. I'm sure we all struck those words, but please think about them from your client's point of view, your SME clients. In 2023 and beyond, Thomson Reuters said, turning the focus to strategies that can bring growth to revenue and profit is key for SMEs. Bringing growth to revenue and profit is key for SMEs. Accountancy firms need to diversify and to do it now. This was a comment made by a gentleman that I call the Australian accounting industry guru, and that's Andrew Geddes, who was one of the joint founders of the Financial Management Research Centre at the University of New England and chair for 10 years of a company which he originally advised 35 years ago that grew from a one vet, one nurse veterinary surgery in Townsville to become a top 200 ASX company, and that was Green Cross. So Geddes has got an enormous amount of experience on the accounting industry and how it relates to larger corporations in public companies. But he also has a real feel for what's going on in accountancy firm land and where our profession is headed. I conducted a podcast with Andrew about 5 weeks ago, and we recorded it. And out of that, we've produced a number of other articles and an Accountant's Minute, which is Accountant's Minute number 351. If you want to go to our website, you can download it and read it. Andrew said, diminished returns flowing into practices relying solely on tax compliance work are going to impact sooner rather than later. The smart move for accountants is to transition into business advisory services. Now, in this webinar, we were looking at a wide range of accounting firms, of course, but Andrew was well aware that we were talking to firms that were of various sizes. I'm getting a message which would indicate that we're not broadcasting properly. You just bear with me a moment and I'll just do a check to make sure that we are. It should be I think we're recording okay. If we're not, can you please send me a chat? Yeah, hopefully you can make out what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Okay, so Andrew's comment was accountants should exploit our strength. That is predicting financial performance and goal setting, then monitoring the results and seeing how you can help your client achieve their goals. I think advisory services are a great addition for small accountancy firms, and Geddes did also, and he went one better. He just didn't talk about it. In the podcast, he gives an actual example of a sole practitioner that he mentors. She is one of his clients. She has 4 team members, some working part-time. The sole practitioner performs an external chief financial officer role for about 12 clients. So she's gone out and got these clients and she delivers these services. She doesn't have much time for tax if she's the external CFO for about 12 clients. And this work is mainly done by the team members. And the sole proprietor also sits on advisory boards for each client. So this is the niche that she's cut out for herself. She also conducts an annual strategic review. And in the podcast, we talk about annual strategic reviews, and we conducted a webinar on this issue a week or so ago. And quarterly reviews to identify business improvement projects. So Andrew Geddes finished up his comments on smaller accounting firms by saying, it's really a matter of thinking through what role do I want to apply? What do you want to do? Do you want to stay just doing tax returns for your clients, or do you want to have a mix of being a virtual chief financial officer for a number of SMEs? They won't be large companies, but they might be $3 or $4 million turnover or larger. They could be smaller, but I imagine that's where they'd start. And still preparing the tax returns for them, perhaps through having some employed accountants working for you. Think about it, please, as we go through today. The approach that this small accounting firm takes, they use the SME needs analysis, which was developed by ESS BIZTOOLS, to have a conversation with their client, with your client, around a set of questions. Because as accountants, we seem to have trouble really communicating with our clients on things other than tax. Well, advisory services is going to take you into areas considerably more than tax. So the questions could be, how's your business going? And this would be over a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, if that is the preference for your client. How's the business going? Are you happy with the profit? Are you happy with cash flow? If you've got cash, you've got money in the bank, can you pay your bills? Can you pay your own salary? Can you take the drawings? Can you keep the loan repayments paid? Or is there a problem? And that might mean the problem's in debtors, where debtors' days outstandings up, say, over 85 days. And you say to the client, well, we should be trying to reduce that back closer to 40, preferably to 30 days. And there's a lot of cash tied up in there. Or it might be in inventory. The inventory investment just gone up and up, not enough going out all the time. Are you dispensable? In other words, is the owner of the business getting some personal time to relax, to recharge their batteries? Or have they been in this business for 15 years and have only had occasional days off, probably only public holidays? What are their concerns about their business? They got concerns in tax planning, creating wealth outside the business, protecting their assets and their family, succession planning. Who would take over if something happened to him or her? And succession planning also relates to everyone in the business, I think, not just the owner or the CEO. Would you be happy with the concept of a business plan being prepared for your business and updated annually? Could explain, you would sit down with the clients and work through their business. You would have templates to guide you through that process so you cover every aspect of their business. Would they like a budget and cash flow forecast prepared annually? And you'd sit down and explain it to them and then say, it's very important that we monitor this, because now you're just producing a cash flow forecast. We then need to use it as the guidance for how you should be operating. And if you deviate, trying to find out where the problem is and get it fixed. Monthly financial accounts prepared with comparison to the budget. I think you need to be very forthright with your client and explain to them that the annual set of accounts that you prepare as part of the tax return work doesn't help them run their businesses. What they need to run their businesses is regular financial accounts, monthly, reconciled back to the budget, so they can really see where they are. They also need key performance indicators. This is one of the biggest areas that I note that accountants who have spent their careers in public accounting perhaps don't appreciate as much as those who have spent time in commerce. I've done both. I was the chief financial officer and company secretary of a listed public company, and really saw the benefit of key performance indicators. That's what a lot of the managers run their business on, having the KPIs daily, weekly, and then monthly. So we need the KPIs so that they can be compared 1 week to another, 1 month to another. What changes have taken place? Talking to your client, would they be happy to have a business advisory meeting every month, 1 to 2 hours? Sit down, round a cup of tea, cup of coffee, preferably no wine at that. But going through the business of performance, the financial accounts, the current cash position, the achieving of your key aims that have been set in a planning meeting every month. Annual strategic review, vital. Andrew Geddes talked about the strategic reviews, and this particular firm that he modelled these comments on, this small practitioner, had already sat down with 12 of her clients in April and May and had planned these strategies for 2023-24. I wonder how many of the people who are going to watch this recording have already done that for clients for 2023-24. And as part of that, they had updated, or she'd updated, the business plans, the budgets, the cash flow forecasts, and had tried to identify the key issues that were likely to confront this client in the coming 12 months. I think this is very important work because this is what happens in the big end of town. And many of our clients aspire to grow, to scale up their businesses. So you can help them on this journey. Identification of business improvement projects every 3 months. Andrew Geddes emphasizes this point every time I talk to him in a podcast or even in a phone call. He's telling the clients to identify 3 key issues every quarter and then make sure they get done. Not just started, but finished. 3 improvements. So over a year, you would have 12 major initiatives attended to. Now, it mightn't be quite possible to get 12 done every year, but it should be the aim. And we're still going to have some time to prepare your income tax returns. Might be a final comment you make to the client, so they don't think they're going to go off and get someone else to do the tax returns. When Geddes completed this overview of the small accounting firm that he described in some detail, he then told me they were one of our subscribers. We've got quite a number of smaller accounting firms as subscribers, a number of them run by ladies, so I had no inkling who he was talking about, to be honest, but I was quite happy to hear that they were one of our clients, and Geddes indicated that they regularly use the ESS BIZTOOLS product package to undertake these tasks. So let's move on and look what you might be able to look at. The ESS BIZTOOLS starter package has been designed primarily for smaller accounting firms and bookkeepers to get started on this advisory journey. You can upgrade later on to our advanced package and to our financial services package if you wish, but this is where we suggest smaller firms start. You could also introduce virtual chief financial officer services if you wish, and you can subscribe to some of our additional packages on a package by package basis if you wish. You don't have to take the whole group package. So let's review the range of services and package that you are able to use 365 days of the year, 24 hours a day if you wish, if you're that keen to help your clients on this journey. Now, I've divided the package into its key components so that you understand what we're helping you do. The promotional material helps you to communicate with your clients, because my observation, having been the key author of ESS BIZTOOLS materials for the last 20 years, is that there is a communication problem. So the first thing we do for all of our subscribers is we write a monthly newsletter, and you get 2 additional ones during the year. You get one where we comment on the federal budget, and the second one is an end of financial year checklist, which went out about 15 days ago. But every month, normally on the second Friday of a month, you receive a update, and here's the Business Plus newsletter. It's normally 4 A4 pages. You badge it with your name, and you can then send it out to your clients. It's got between 4 and 6 articles, and we try to vary them. Some are applying to startups, some to more mature businesses. And we're looking at a whole range of issues. We don't comment on taxation very much, other than specialist parts of taxation like research and development tax rebate. So that's Business Plus. You get that monthly. We've got client mentoring and coaching modules. There are 15 of them as part of the starter package. You can use to guide your clients. You can send them to your clients, or you could run briefing seminars with them, or a group of them, to alert them about various issues. But by the same token, you are then demonstrating to your clients that you're able to assist them in these areas. Client seminars. Yes, we've prepared seminars that you can use. Now, we're not suggesting you use the ones we have in the package. We've prepared them. We've given you the PowerPoint slides. You can put your name on them, and then you can watch how I've presented the webinar, you're probably going to improve on that performance, and then you can present your own. It should be you that's presenting. Someone said to me once, we'll just run yours, Peter. I said, no, that's not the idea. The idea is we've prepared some seminars. If you like them, you can use them, but it should be one of your partners or senior managers that's making the presentation so that your clients and prospects see your firm in action. We then have the ESS papers. The starter package members have access to 343 papers spread over about 67 different categories, from starting a business through to the early parts of research and development, an overview of some government grants and so on. You can badge those as a subscriber and send them to your clients and your prospects. You can charge for them if you wish, that's up to you. And we have the business advisory services training package. There's 13 modules there that you can utilize to get your team up to speed. Because your team up to this stage, in all probability, has been concentrating on income tax matters and the preparation of the annual financial accounts. There's more to advisory services than just that, as hopefully I've already explained with the benefit of Andrew Geddes' overview of the small accounting firm that he used as the example, undertaking 12 virtual CFO assignments. That's a fair bit of work, and it would have generated a significant amount of fees. Okay, let's continue with the starter package. So we then go into finding out what the client wants. And I've already mentioned the SME needs analysis, which Andrew Geddes believes is the best item we have in the ESS BIZTOOLS package. That might be because he wrote the original version of that, and with his permission, I've updated it over the years. But that's a document. We have it in 3 different styles these days. We have a very detailed one. We have one that you can just take along and casually refer to in front of your client. We've got another one you can actually send to your client. So do you want to write some answers into this? And I'll come out and see you in a week or 2 weeks' time, and we'll sit down and have a cup of coffee and go through it. It's amazing what some clients write. That document refers to debtors. I think debtors is one of the biggest problems SME have. And in the commentary on debtors, it refers to debtors' days outstanding. One of our subscribers sent me a note one day and said, have a look at the attachment. This is what the client had written alongside the words debtors' days outstanding. What does this mean? What does this mean? The client had no idea. And when the accountant went in and investigated, the debtors' days outstanding was over 80 days. So the client asked the question, I suppose, and out of that become a reduction program was put in place and reduced that debtors' days outstanding substantially. You can start using the packages that can earn fees very quickly. I think you should be able to pay for your investment for the starter package within 3 months if you really start promoting and get into the habit of talking to your clients about these services. So I'm going to give you a bit more detailed comment on a particular package, which I think every small accountant and most bookkeepers could look at their clients. It's a tradie charge out rate calculator. Now, I've acted for hundreds of tradies over the years, and some are very good at running businesses, and others can be in exactly the same business and literally broke, and you wonder why. And I can remember looking at the one that was not going too well once, and his charge out rate was about half what the leading contractor in that industry in the city that we operate in was charging at that time. I knew that because we also acted for the leading contractor, leading subbie in that industry. And when I talked to the guy that was charging the lowest amount of money, he said, oh, no, we're not going to overcharge the clients. Well, unfortunately, he didn't survive in business either. And that was one of the motivations for the development of the tradie charge out rate calculator. I think every small accounting firm has got some tradie clients. In fact, one of our subscribers has written to me and has told me on a number of occasions that he uses this now for over 100 tradie businesses. And he charges on average about $8,000 a year, or $8,000 more than what he was charging for the tax return work. So he still charges for the tax return work. He then charges an additional $8,000 because he undertakes the charge out rate calculations for all of the team members, including the owner and everyone else in the business, looking at their productivity, their working hours, their various leave entitlements and whatever, and looking at what happens in the firm. What's the business's overheads? What's the annual estimate of how much money they're going to have to outlay to buy products for their clients, and what markup are they going to put on those? And people will tell you they're going to mark up those supplies 15, 20, 25%, I've heard. And sometimes when you check it, you find they haven't been doing it, they forgot to do it, or they couldn't face up to doing it. And in the meantime, if they've set their charge out rates, assuming that markup was going to be charged, well, obviously they're not going to be earning the profitability. So that led our subscriber to say to his clients, well, we really need to have monthly financial accounts so we can analyze the key performance indicators, see how the business has traded, because we may have to go back to the calculations and make some changes. There may have been an assumption that a certain employee could achieve a productivity of 80%. But in the meantime, he was also asked to do estimates and do some quality control checking so that the real time that can be charged to clients has dropped to 60%. Which charge out rate needs adjusting, or someone else's does, if your client is going to achieve their predetermined profitability, which has been built into these calculations. This particular accountant then conducts monthly or quarterly business advisory meetings with each of those 100 clients. Somebody asked an hour. Now, the interesting thing was when I analysed what was going on here was that he started off with about 20 tradie clients when he first heard of our package. And he tells me he came and subscribed to ESS BIZTOOLS because he'd heard of this package that we'd only just released. And he had 20 SMEs and 20 tradie clients, he got them operational. Within a couple of years, he built that figure up to 100 and an extra $8,000 per client. It's a lot of fees coming in for being proactive in the tradie market. He's also looked at benchmarking, comparing the various trades, whether they're carpenters, boilermakers, fitters, what have you, looking at the benchmarking reports that you can get from benchmarking.com and giving them feedback in that area. He's also become very interested in some of the industry associations, goes to their conferences. What happens there? He picks up more clients because he's seen as the accounting expert. What can't you do? In all seriousness, let's take 20 seconds off. I'm going to have a glass mouthful of water. Write down your tradie clients that you could talk to about doing this type of service. I hope you got some names. We also have a professional charge out rate calculator, which is very similar to the tradie, except we don't have the quantum of external purchases for clients or the markups. If you've got professionals that do that sort of work, and I know some do, you can just use the tradie charge out rate, just change the word tradie on the top of the spreadsheet. We also have a survival in difficult times. I first wrote that material probably 10 years ago, where there'd been some major problems somewhere in Australia. I think it was a cyclone in Western Australia, to be honest, at the time. So we sat down and wrote the survival in difficult times. And over the years since, I've continually updated it. And I've come to the conclusion that in Australia every year, someone needs survival in difficult times, whether it's caused through the weather or through a major industry shutdown. And when you think about what Thomson Reuters had to say, and that I referred to at the beginning of this conversation today, I think we're in all all businesses are in difficult times as we go into 2023-24. We've got very high interest rates on the standards we've got used to in the last 12 years. We've got high inflation, again, based on those standards. And now we've got this dreaded comment getting made that we might be headed to recession. There's a lot of difficulties out there. Why not look at the Survival in Difficult Times workbook? It covers about 40 different aspects of a business, from debtors, inventory, research and development, cash flow, all sorts of things. You go through and ask the questions, get the answers, but there's supplementary material that you can link to that you can immediately make available to your client. You badge it, you've got your name on it, you give it back to the client. You help them get through these difficult times in a very proactive manner. Buying a business, well, there's still people buying businesses, isn't there? And some people don't do their due diligence properly, do they? So we've developed a package which a lot of our subscribers use every year to work through the various checklists to make sure that everything's been covered. Debtors management, I've talked about that. Debtors days outstanding is a huge problem. And most of our clients in SME land are still suffering from it. So we've got a calculation to help things like debtors days outstanding. Then we have a debtors systems manual, because I always feel very sorry for the poor person, normally a lady in our clients' businesses that's got the responsibility for debtors. In most cases, no one's ever given her a proper written system. There's bits of things stuck on the side of computers and desks, and that's the debtors system. Well, we've written a debtors system. That's about 15 pages, but it talks about the personal property securities register. It talks why the business might be registering customers on that register. And if they're not, they should be thinking about it. It explains the process. And I think it's a job that you could go in to put that in for your client and then review that nothing's changed every 12 months. Another fee earning opportunity. Selling a business, helping your client get the best return. And you can go through the material if you subscribe. Succession planning, I think it starts from day one, and it covers every person in a business, because what the aim should be in an SME is training the team so there can be an upgrade of skills and knowledge within the business. And we're adding some additional material, which we're working on at present. We're reorientating some of our services. So we're going to introduce an introduction to research and development into the starter package. That will be there in about 6 weeks' time. You'll get it if you subscribe now. And we're also documenting what we call the due diligence review of a business, 1 inch wide and 1 mile deep. We are giving you a series of questions to work through with your client. Preferably go to the client's premises and go around and see how they do the work, especially if you're going to do this month-by-month financial accounting. You've got responsibilities, I think, to make sure there's proper internal control, that the information coming to you is accurate. This is additional work to what you've ever had doing tax returns. An introduction to business risks. We've got a very extensive commentary on business risks in the advanced package. We're bringing some of it forward, so it will be first encountered within the starter package, just to give you a bit more data to work with your clients with. So hopefully that will help. Now we can assist. We've already discounted our prices because I am committed to trying to help Australian accountants and bookkeepers run a wider range of advisory services for your clients during 2023-24. And to be blunt about it, we haven't achieved our sales target yet, our new subscriber target that we set. And I'm going all out to try to achieve that. So we've got a special offer available, which I want to talk to you today. First of all, our price for the starter package was originally $2,100. We've reduced it now to $1,529. including GST. Or if you want to, you can pay monthly. That's $149. But you also receive a holiday accommodation package. It's 3 nights accommodation that you get discounts for, which we will send you those vouchers. Now that's less than, on the $15.29, including GST for a year, that is less than $30 per week. $30 a week to get you started on being able to offer advisory services to your clients. But then I have an additional offer that I'm making today, because 30th of June next week, I want more firms. I want you people that are watching this video live on the social media links or watching it in your own time in the next couple of days. We're making a special offer to the first 20 firms to subscribe to this starter package from now on. You'll pay the 12 months upfront subscription, but we're going to put that through our system for 15 months. So you will have a subscription running through to around the 22nd of September 2024. If you activate today to get this special extra 3 months on your subscription package and an extra voucher for the holiday accommodation, because normally you'd only get one of these holiday vouchers until they run out. We've still got some left, so we're offering 2 to the first 20 people who take us up on this special offer. All you do is go to our website, www.essbiztools.com.au, and click on to subscribe, and we will put through and confirm to you in writing in the next couple of days after you've done it that your subscription is 15 months and your expiry date is somewhere around 22nd of September 2024. And we will send you the 2 holiday accommodation vouchers that you can use. You can give to clients, you can give to team members, you can donate to your local charity if you wish. You can do anything you wish with it. So that's the special offer we're making today, because I want to see more people proactively get involved. And there's a great opportunity for smaller accounting firms, which is who this particular webinar is targeted at, and bookkeepers, because quite honestly, you're the firms that are potentially closest to the problems that the tax commissioner was warning last year about, and Andrew Geddes has referred to, that I referred to earlier. There are a lot of changes coming around, and the market is going to change. This gives you an opportunity to be doing more value-added work. So to subscribe, please go to our website, www.essbiztools.com.au. Now, if you want to know more, that's great. You can go to our website and have a look and go through and look at the packages, and the packages are segmented there, the starter and the advanced and the financial. The financial includes software from Plan Guru for the preparation of predictive accounting reports, budgets, cash flow forecasts, and projected balance sheets. But our prime objective today is to talk to you about the starter package to help you get started on this very important role. But if you want to talk to me, that's great. Please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or make a phone call, 1800-232-088, and we'll set up a convenient time for a no obligation complimentary Zoom meeting, last about 45 minutes, where I'll ask you some questions about your firm. You can tell me what your clients do, what your team members like doing, and who they are, what their skills are. And I will give you my thoughts on the process that you could implement to introduce a wider range of advisory services to your firm. We have another webinar in this series next Thursday, 29th of June. Geez, that reminded me, it's my brother's birthday. I better not forget that. But predictive accounting, helping clients navigate the future. That's obviously talking about budgets and cash flow forecasts and projected balance sheets. I had a discussion with Mark Holton, the director of Smith Inc. yesterday, and Mark said this is the neglected area of accounting. We should be concentrating on showing our clients what's going to happen in the future, not the past. So this is a key component of offering advisory services, showing your client how they might perform in the future if they can make sure that they achieve the targets. I'm just going to check to see whether I've got any questions. I've got no questions. I hope that means that I've answered your questions. And if I haven't, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. So thank you very much for participating with us today. We will send you the CPD participation certificates for the people who have viewed this webinar on the direct webinar link. If you've watched the webinar on social media or you're watching it in your own time, you have to put your own time recordings into your records to supply your professional organisation. Thank you very much. If you have any queries about our special offers, please contact me, 1800 232 088, and I look forward to hearing from you, and then we will be able to talk to you as a subscriber to ESS BizTools. Stay safe. Have a great day. Goodbye. And I hope everything goes very well for you. And I know everyone's busy. We're coming up to the 30th of June, but I would urge you to think seriously about our special offer, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.